Hello, this is Dr. Justin Pierce. I'm here with Dr. Shannon Pierce and Dr. Donald Miller. We are with Mill Pond Integrative Health and Wellness Center, and today we are going to talk about the Beginner's Guide to Intermittent Fasting. So let's get going.
Okay, so today, we were just laughing about this before we started. Today's probably the worst day for us to talk about this because both of the gentlemen have been full-on fasting for a couple of days. I've been doing a really strict intermittent fast. So if you were to ask us today, fasting sucks.
Fasting is not fun.
But we're doing it for a purpose. We do it often. So today we want to teach you why we put ourselves through this so often and why it's good for you.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different types of fasting. Today we're going to really talk about intermittent fasting and really what that is, and the best way to perform that would be 16 hours of not eating or fasting, and then followed by 8-hour window where you eat all of your food and your calories. So, we like to do the easiest way. Somebody asked me, like, how do you intermittent fast? Well, the easiest way to do that is to skip breakfast. We've always been told that that's the most important meal that we should eat. I don't know who told you that. We talked about that in a little bit. But we skip breakfast because you don't have to eat while you're sleeping. And then you just skip breakfast, and then you eat around 1 o'clock. So from 1 o'clock to 7, 8 o'clock, that's your window where you're going to eat lunch and dinner. And that's it. It's very easy and very simple thing to do.
Yeah, and that's why we like it, because you're not doing some crazy diets. It's not something that, you're really restricting your calories, because a lot of people that do this, in reality, they're eating just as many calories as they would if they were eating breakfast, just at a different time.
Yeah.
So you still get the benefits.
And not that we vouch for this, but honestly, you will see results in your health, not even changing what you eat, just changing when you eat. So even if you still eat junk, if you just narrow your hours, you're going to see some weight loss and some increased energy anyways. But we also want to teach you how to do it properly to get all of the benefits from that.
Yep, and before we dive into what the actual benefits are, and so after you eat a meal, it's like 3 to 5 hours of digesting and breaking down your foods.
Yeah.
And then the research shows it takes about 12 hours after your last meal before you really enter a true fasting state.
Yep.
And so by doing 16 hours, you're getting 4 hours of truly fasting in your body, focusing on the things that we're going to talk about.
That's right. Yeah. So that's a little bit. Do you want to cover a little bit of the science of how it works, just real quickly and briefly?
Yeah. So intermittent fasting. So when you eat food, your body is focusing on digesting and breaking down your foods, absorbing the nutrients. The absorption, that's what the 12 hours is all about. So once your body stops that, it's going to focus on things that your immune system, you're just fighting disease, just doing things, burning fats. And so as far as the science is concerned, when you're eating food, your insulin levels go up. So when we're talking about weight loss, for example, it's really hard to burn fat when your insulin levels are high, because your insulin wants to store the fat. And so once you go into a fasting state, the insulin levels drop, and now your body needs to burn something for energy.
Yeah.
Do you have much to burn right now for energy?
I've got nothing to burn for energy. So, I was telling it because I started a day before him, and I was telling her the other night, it's like, it is so cold in this house. I'm like freezing cold.
He's
and
cranking up the AC, he has blankets on, and
I was cranking up the heater, not the AC. I was
the
freezing. I was so cold, and I went to sleep. I slept from 8:30 all the way to 7 the next morning. My body just needed some healing time.
Yep.
But back to the sugar stores, is your body will burn off all the sugar stores in your body within 24 hours. And so someone talking about regulating the insulin levels, great for diabetics,
yes,
right?
Absolutely.
But it's just really good for getting rid of those sugar stores, which sugar causes inflammation.
Yeah,
right?
and if you're doing it on a consistent, regular basis, then you're going to just over time regulate those insulin, those glucose levels. Now, I'll hear a lot of people, especially diabetics, say, I can't go that long without eating.
Right.
Because you haven't yet. The first few days might be tough, but your body will regulate, and this really is what you need to be doing. You just might have to ease your way into it, start narrowing your window a little bit slower, and have maybe some good healthy snacks that you can do if your blood sugar starts to drop, which doesn't include candy, chocolate, or
Snickers is always great, right? Hungry, why wait? Is that what it is?
Yeah. So, you'd eat a Snickers right now, wouldn't you?
I don't mean that. Well, I might eat it right now. I would eat anything at this point. So
yeah. So the big thing is this is the easiest way to get into a fat burning state.
Yes.
Honestly, the way we want you to be eating, we're in fat burning states when we're not fasting.
Yes.
Because we eat so much good healthy fats, we're not eating a lot of the bad sugars.
Yeah.
Well, none of the bad sugars, but we're eating good healthy sugars. And so once our body processes those good sugars, it will get into a fat burning mode.
Absolutely.
Most people, though, you're eating so much sugar and carbohydrates that you just never get into that fat burning mode. So this is a great way to do that.
Yeah, and what do you think your body wants to burn, and what's easier to burn, sugar or fat?
Right.
Obviously, it's sugar, and since you eat so much sugar, you just never get into that fat burning mode, and that's why intermittent fasting can really help with that.
Yeah, so it definitely switches your body to be able to be that natural fat burner, and it's also great for your immune system. So we talked about the insulin and glucose, we talked about fat burning, but the immune function. Your immune system is what protects you every day, what helps you not get cancer or heal from it if you have it. You need a well-functioning immune system, and by giving your body 16 hours that you're not eating food, you're giving it time to finally heal, which most of you probably don't. If you eat first thing when you get up, you eat throughout the day, you eat dinner at night, you have snacks before bed, you literally didn't have a single waking hour that your body didn't have to focus on digesting and breaking down food. No wonder you feel terrible. No wonder you don't sleep good. It's the only time your body has to actually digest all that stuff. If you give yourself a narrowed amount of time, then you get cell repair, then you get healing, then you get energy stores built back up. It's amazing how different your body will feel after just even a couple of days of doing intermittent fasting.
Yeah, it's true. And it's kind of a double whammy with the cancer because, yes, it's boosting the immune system function to fight the cancer, but what's cancer feed off of?
Sugar.
Right, sugar. And so if you're minimizing the sugar in the body, then it's kind of a double whammy.
Even on top of that, fasting for extended period of time, so we talk about maybe the different types of fasting and things that you can do, things that you can eat or drink while you're fasting, right? But I was reading that when you start fasting, all of a sudden your body goes into protection mode and it starts to protect all of the good cells. And so all the good cells are protected, all the proteins and the bad DNA are just they're excreted out of your body, and so therefore cancer cells are just it eats them, it kills them away. So it's pretty amazing what that does. So obviously, like right now we're doing a 3-day fast, and just to be clear, 4 o'clock today hits 72 hours for me. I'm having something to eat.
Yeah. Are you?
He's a day behind me.
I'm a day behind.
So I'm going to eat in front of him. But there's different types of fasts. So there's a 3-day, 72-hour fast. I mean, there's prolonged, longer fasts as well. Yeah. It just depends, and that's really a specific thing that you would want to talk about maybe with one of us or one of your doctors about how long you should do it for. But there's juice fasts.
Sure. Well, I think the 3 most common ones that you're going to hear about, intermittent fasting, which is my favorite, and we'll get into a little bit about why that is where every single day you're just narrowing your hours. So you're eating daily, but you're eating in narrowed hours. Right. And then there's kind of a modified fast where you don't do any solid food that you have to break down, but you're doing something like bone broth or maybe some clean, cold-pressed vegetable juices, and you can do that for 24 hours or 3 days or 5 days. I know some people who do 10-day juice fasts or bone broth fasts, but you're still getting some nutrients in that one, so it's a little bit easier for someone who's just starting, versus a 3-day water fast is going to be one of your harder ones to do. So somebody who maybe has done a couple of other fasts and wants to really challenge their body, or if you have some big immune system stuff going on, because there's some very cool research that shows in 72 hours, you can full on reset the immune function of your gut by completely fasting. So if you have some immune issues, that's going to be a great one for you to start with.
Yeah, autoimmune diseases, things like that, right?
Yeah.
It'd be great to do it.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of different types, but fasting is amazing. Weight loss is such a big deal today. Everybody wants to lose weight. Well, the reason why you're overweight is probably because you're fasting. What did I talk about? Eating fast?
Eating fast. We talked about that.
Fast food.
Fast
That's
food.
not your.
That's not the
form of
fast
fasting we're
food.
talking about right here. But yeah, again, it resets your metabolism. It resets your immune system. It just does such wonders for you, and it's just an amazing thing to do. A lot of people say, because I've talked to people about it in the office, and they're like, I can't do it. I hate that word.
Yeah.
My kid. I'll be honest. This is my first time I've done a full-on 3-day water fast.
And we're just doing water. I don't think we said that. I mean, just water, nothing else.
Cold pressed juice sounds amazing right now.
Yeah, I was saying. I was giving my kids some mangoes today, and I was like, I would die for that right now. So, but yeah, so that's definitely.
Yeah, and let's be clear, it's not fun for anybody.
Sure.
This is not easy.
Right.
It's not fun, but
Absolutely.
we do it because we want to be fat burners. We want to have healthy immune systems, and we want to make sure we're not setting ourselves up for diabetes or insulin resistance, which go to a whole other whack of problems. So now I want to be very clear. When it comes to fasting, there are better types of fasting for different types of people. So let's go over some of the safety of fasting and the types of people who should be doing those ones. Yep. It really irks me to see things on like Facebook and people are selling their fast or their cleanse, and all these people are doing these programs that have, all these hard fasts. Well, you don't know if that's right for your body or safe for your body.
Right.
So one of the main things, especially for women, and typically I see a lot of women buying these programs because they want to lose weight. Right. So they're like, I'm going to buy this program, I'm going to do what they say, I'm going to lose weight. You end up losing no weight and feeling terrible, because the most common situation is if you have fatigued adrenal glands or you have low hormones, you can't fast. That is the wrong thing for you. You're going to put yourself into a more dangerous situation, and you're going to end up storing more fat and getting more fatigued. So I learned this one the hard way, to be honest. Before I did my hormone testing, we would try fasting. And when I first started having some of my health issues, I thought that was my answer. I was doing 5-day juice fasts. We were doing it all over the place. And I kept feeling worse and worse and worse, and I was getting frustrated. Well, get my hormone labs back, my adrenals are flatlined, and I tend towards really low progesterone and estrogen, so I can't 3-day fast. I will never do a 3-day water fast. So what I do, every day we intermittent fast, we narrow our windows. The way our life is set up, that we typically don't eat till 12 or 1, and then we'll eat as soon as we get home from the office about 7:30, and then we don't eat again after that. I do that every day of my life, no matter what day it is, including birthdays, Christmas, Thanksgiving. You can still follow those types of rules no matter what holiday it is.
Yep.
And then when I want to be a little bit stricter, so right now while they're fasting, I'm just being a little stricter with the food I eat in my fasting hour. So I'm doing all raw, I'm just doing veggies, fruits, and nuts. So I cut out the meat, I cut out some of the other foods, but I'm still fueling my body so I don't get that tank on my hormones or my adrenal glands. So for women, do not just start a fasting program without having your testing done. It's so important.
Very, very
Repeat
much so.
that. Like, women do not do that. 24 hours, maybe, but anything more than that, you really got to start testing.
Yeah.
It will hurt you and make you sicker. So
It's just
on the other end,
stress, it's stress on the body.
It is.
I mean, it's just like exercise. I mean,
It's a stress.
everything that we do for our patients, recommend for our patients, everything's customized based off of you as an individual. But I mean, going out and doing prolonged exercises, if your body can't handle that stress,
right.
shouldn't be doing it,
Right.
right? And so fasting, it is a stress on your body, but if you can take advantage of that stress, then it's very, very beneficial.
And some people love to hear this, but if you're a woman and you come in with low hormones and flat adrenals, I'm telling you not to exercise for the next 90 days or so. People love to hear that. Like,
The phones are
doctor's
ringing
orders,
off
like,
right now.
you don't have to exercise and you'll still lose weight and feel better, because you're honoring what your body needs, not what somebody thinks is a good fad right now.
And some of the sickest women that we see, they come in and from the outside, they look like
Yes.
they're in
Right.
really good shape.
Yes.
They're like the healthiest people, and then you run labs and you start talking to them. It's like, I've got all these symptoms.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep. So for women, that's one thing, but for men, it's a totally different thing. So why we're able to do the 72 hours is we don't have the hormone issues that women have, but at the same time, we're all getting rid of inflammation in whether doing intermittent fasting or the 24-hour or the 72-hour fasting. But one thing, the biggest thing for men is it's going to increase testosterone. It is going to increase, here's what I was told, is you're going to increase girth. So now all of a sudden women are like, oh God, my husband's not eating for 72 hours.
My husband needs to watch this.
So yeah, so tonight ends 72 hours. So, it's yeah. I don't know what to say. But that's a huge thing. Literally, that's what she said. I don't know. Fasting is a great thing for men.
This is what happens when you
We
fast,
haven't eaten in
Justin.
3
He
days,
had no
so-
food in 3 days, and now we're just getting crazy.
It's a good thing Dr. Shane is with us today.
Yeah,
But
anything
to
else, what
be
else is
real
in?
though, men, that is why men do fasting.
Yep.
It will absolutely help boost your hormone. It will give you that good building. And if you're burning fat and not burning sugar, that's when men have their best strength and have their best virility. So
Well, and what happens is we go into like hunter-gatherer mode. Because you got to remember, we were never meant to eat 3
All the
square
time.
meals a day. It wasn't until recently with McDonald's and fast foods and grocery stores. We would go a day or 2 days without food because there just was no food. We couldn't find it.
Yeah.
So what happens is I go into protection mode. I got to provide for my family.
Great point.
I'm going to eat. He's not going to eat. My testosterone rises, and all of a sudden we go and you find it and you make things happen. And so that's really how it all works inside of you. Anything else you want to
Yeah,
add
no,
on that?
it's just because, men, you can do just water for 3 days. Yes, you'll probably lose fat, but your muscle mass can increase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because your testosterone's going up. So it's just amazing.
Because I'm still working out, I'm still exercising, and not eating food, just drinking water. I drank 170 ounces of water yesterday. Yes, I urinated a lot.
A lot.
But
I was peeing all
cleansed.
day.
You just cleanse. You're just flushing things
is
out of you
amazing.
and just literally resetting your body. It's amazing. So
which is also why, especially for different like religious things and biblical things, they use fasting, because it really does clear that mind and it does that hormone balance. And there's something about getting some breakthroughs in life. So whether you're doing it for health or your mental state, or you're doing it because maybe you feel stuck in your job or you don't feel joy, fasting is great for the spiritual and emotional side of life too.
Yep. And
Yep.
don't say I can't, because can't never did nothing. That's
Yeah.
what we tell our
But
kids.
that's also
Right,
why
that
you're
we do.
stuck
You
in your health
can
and
do
the
it.
life that
Yep.
you're in right now, is if you keep saying can't, you're never going to get anywhere.
You gotta start. You gotta start Monday. Start today. Like, when is Monday for you? You know, my kid, if he says can't, he's 4 years old. He knows what he has to do. He has to do push-ups. He has to do push-ups. He gets down and he says, "Oh gosh," and he jumps down and he gets push-ups. Like, you don't get to say those words because you can do anything that you set your mind to, including fasting, including giving up food, including changing your diet, whatever it may be. So,
So
I guess
just to recap,
yes.
so the recap is you can do any type of fasting. There's several different ways. Pick one that's best for you, and if you're not sure and you don't know your lab, step 1 is to get tested.
Absolutely.
Step 2 is you can pick either the intermittent fasting, where you're only eating for 8 hours out of the day. Pick a window that works well for you. For most people, it's somewhere between 1 and 7 works best for most people. If you have a different job, you can do 11 to 5. You can do 3 to 9. You can move that window. Just pick an 8-hour window, and you're only going to eat in that 8 hours. You can do a 24-hour fast, either on just water, some cold-pressed green juice, or bone broth, or you can go on and do a full 72-hour water fast or bone broth fast, whichever one you feel like doing.
Love it.
Yep, they all have different benefits, but you know the easiest way to get started is do that intermittent fasting. Don't try to go right into where we are and do that 72-hour fast by any means. But get started right away. Write in the comments if you have any questions. If you have any comments, if you want to start your 72-hour fast or you want to start your intermittent fasting, let us know that. But write down the questions that you have. We'll make sure we get back to you guys. So
yeah, there's a lot of information we want to get out on this, and so we're going to actually add a show this week.
Yep.
We're going to do a show tomorrow at 11:30 as well, so tune in.